Well, can you remember the first four principles that I covered in the first video? That's the first question for today. So just in case you need a bit of refreshing, then you need to remember these if you're going to undertake the Delivering Successful Business Outcomes with Catalyst certification. So let's get into it and help you understand these principles. So this is the second video on the 7 principles of the MuleSoft Catalyst. So if you missed the first video, which covered the first 4 principles, then I'll put a link to that video somewhere up here. Remember that if you want to follow the whole series on the MuleSoft Catalyst, then please subscribe to the channel and then you'll get notified when each of the videos is released. Hopefully I'll give you some exam tips as we go along, which will help you in that certification. So let's start with a quick summary of the first 4 principles, and then we'll move on to the remaining 3 principles, which I promised I would cover in this video. Plus we'll give you some exam tips for those looking, like I say, to undertake that certification. So the first 4 principles that we covered in the first video were outcome-based, balanced short and long-term view, platform as the basis for solutions, and finally, decentralization. If these are unfamiliar to you, then like I say, please look at the first video that I've just linked and you'll get some more detail about those, and you will need to remember them. So let's move on now. Principle number 5 is products in addition to projects. Now, using this principle, we need to change our mindset on how we develop our reusable capabilities. With this change of mindset, we look at the development of products that in themselves have their own life cycle. The product mindset allows the business to focus on teams that are creating value by identifying a product which they can evolve over time and contribute to the business outcomes that we defined for the business as a whole. Now, the projects are merely ways to deliver a product. The benefit that the product mindset can bring include linking with agile and DevOps ways of delivery. With that product mindset to increase software delivery velocity and also deliver benefits to the product incrementally, which obviously is a foundational function of agile. So agile delivery of incremental benefits is more likely to improve service reliability, but, and maybe more importantly, can allow shared ownership of the product between business users and the technical teams that are delivering that product. Incremental delivery of a product also provides the capability to innovate and react to new business ideas as the business and the market shift over time. Business products are what drives development as opposed to technical projects attempting to drive the business, which, in my experience at least, very rarely works. What Catalyst describes as a product-centric approach recognises this principle and puts the customer at the core of the product, and therefore provides increasing business value over time. So moving on to principle number 6, the focus is on composability. Focus on composability. I can't reiterate this one enough, and it will come up time and time again as we go through the course. This is the principle that I normally refer to as the Lego principle, because basically we're looking at constructing building blocks. What we're trying to achieve here is increasing the flexibility and agility of our capability by delivering solutions based on composable building blocks, which means that one of the key considerations when designing APIs is to look at their reusability. If you design and develop APIs that have one and only one purpose, then you're building a point-to-point interface which will have limited or no use beyond that one interface, and will cost you money and be expensive and goes against the whole core of integration. Businesses which are able to unlock their data and create composable solutions have the ability to build solutions faster, more reliably, and with consistency and accuracy. And this composability promotes rapid innovation, which allow the business to react more quickly to changing business circumstances. And once you have shown that you can react quickly, the business will accelerate, creating what a Catalyst refers to as a virtuous circle. I prefer to call this actually trust between business and technical users in each other's capability, which is a major factor in accelerating business. By constructing building blocks in a product fashion, we can separate functionality of the building blocks into integration logic and maintain clear separation between these blocks in terms of their capability. In this way, we can more accurately estimate the time and budgets required to deliver code changes. This approach reduces the risk of minor modifications causing unexpected downstream issues or requiring extensive regression testing. And finally in this section, it's just worth mentioning the phase that I've learned a long time ago and stayed with me throughout my career in data management and integration development. And that is always maintain functional cohesion and logical separation. Try and remember that term, it really is useful. And finally, we come to principle number 7, which to me at least seems obvious, but it is: don't reinvent the wheel. One of the biggest benefits that can be achieved with composability, in addition to being product focused, is to take the advantage of the experience and expertise that your teams have used to build the assets and resources that you have at your disposal, which have been delivered by previous Catalyst deliveries, the building blocks you have in your cupboard. As you progress through your journey with MuleSoft, you should find, if you've kept to the principles I've described, that you build less and reuse more. And in terms of, not only the APIs that you've built, but also the standards, fragments, common modules such as common error loggers, common audit loggers, etc. Plus not forgetting documents and templates that you have at your disposal from the Catalyst Knowledge Hub. Now I think everyone wants to see the benefits that can be achieved by not reinventing the wheel. Management and the business will certainly welcome the cost savings. Support staff will appreciate the stability that comes with reusing stable building blocks of systems, and the development teams will welcome the ability to use the building blocks rather than to having to write code that is very similar to what they've written before. And so I come to the end of the 7 principles of the MuleSoft Catalyst. As the name would suggest, these are principles, and therefore, along with the 3 pillars I talked about in a previous video, they are very important to understand. Now in the next video, I will talk about the principles, or how the principles have helped in the real world where I work, and also provide some exam tips for this area of the certification. So if you found this video useful, then please give it a like, and I hope that I'll see you again in the next video.